So you first step out of bed in the morning and you've been dreading those first few steps because they give you that sharp pain on your heel. If you want to learn the best ways to get rid of your heel pain permanently, stick around so you can learn from me the best things that I like to teach my clients to help them permanently get rid of their heel pain. A lot of information out there related to treating plantar fasciitis or plantar heel pain is actually quite outdated. Instead of just resting the heel, icing the heel, and wearing very cushioned and structured shoes, there are actually better and improved ways that we can use to get rid of plantar fasciitis or that heel pain that are not only more effective, but would be a better long-term solution. Because who would want a permanent fix for their injuries? I don't know about you, but while I believe that there is a time and place for us to use more of a band-aid approach to treating plantar fasciitis or heel pain, say in more acute scenarios where the pain is being aggravated by a run or a pickleball tournament, in more chronic cases where the pain has been ongoing for months or years, we actually want to use more active strategies to rebuild the resiliency of our ankle and foot to be able to offload our plantar fascia so our plantar fasciitis doesn't come back to give us more grief and affect your day-to-day activities. So to tackle plantar fasciitis and to permanently fix this problem, we can get at the root cause of the issue by doing exercises to help us rebuild our foot and ankle strength, as well as foot and ankle flexibility. If you're somebody who wants to permanently fix your plantar fasciitis pain or heel pain, smash the like button below and I'll get on with teaching you my favorite exercises to help you fix your heel pain permanently. So the first exercise is the knee to walk ankle mobility drill. This exercise helps us improve the flexibility and mobility of our ankles. Why we're addressing ankle mobility is because there's actually quite a strong correlation of plantar heel pain being related to having a stiffer calf and ankle complex. So we'll address this particular issue with this exercise here. So to do this, you want to be kneeling on something soft, and we're going to be working right now on our left leg. So the front leg is your working leg, and we're going to first get your knee to the wall as much as you can, and then you're going to wiggle that foot back as much as you can while you can still keep that heel on the ground. So essentially, you want to work on that ankle dorsiflexion range of motion by rocking back and forth. So you want to find that sweet spot of that distance where it's slightly difficult for you, where your heel might be lifting off a little bit when you drive that front knee forward. So again, really make sure you keep that heel on the ground, your toes are facing forward, and then you're going to drive that knee towards the wall. I also like to put some pressure downwards onto the knee just to give it a little bit more of that force as you drive the knee forward. And I also like to kind of do different directions while you're driving that knee forward. So I like to consider left, center, and right as one rep, and I like to do 3 sets of 15. And then once you're done, just simply switch your legs and same thing. So first find that sweet spot of the distance. And again, I'm gonna move this back a little, keep that heel on the ground, and drive that knee forward. If it's too little for you, then you can back up. So you can play around as you go along here. Like so. The second exercise is the calf raises off the step with the ball squeeze. This exercise is one of my favorite exercises for my patients with plantar fasciitis because this exercise forces us to strengthen our calves and our peroneal muscle group, which is a muscle group that tends to be weak and neglected in people who have chronic heel pain. To do this, you want a step, so then when we're coming down into the stretch of that calf raise, we can get a bit of that Achilles stretch to work on lengthening our calf muscles and our Achilles tendon. Before we get the ball into it, I just want to show what a calf raise is like. So you want to come all the way up onto your toes and then come all the way down into that stretch and then come all the way up. And make sure when you're coming up onto that calf raise, you're pushing up on all of the toes, so you're not going out to the side and you're not scrunching your toes. So with the ball, you're going to place it just between your ankles. Squeeze it really, really hard, as much as you can. Now come up, same thing, all of the toes, and come all the way up without scrunching your toes, and come all the way down into that calf stretch. Come all the way up, squeeze that ball really tight, and come down. And one more time, squeeze that ball really tight, and come down. So with this exercise, I like to prescribe 3 sets of 15 repetitions, and you can easily get a ball from the dollar store or something like that. The third exercise is the banded great toe flexion. This exercise helps us to strengthen our big toe, or otherwise known as our first metatarsal, which is very important in helping us push off while we're walking or running. When we don't have good big toe strength, again, we default to not using a peroneal muscle group, which are muscles that can help us support our foot arch. When the muscles that support our foot arch are weak, that can have us put more pressure onto our plantar fascia. That can lead it to deteriorate and result or worsen those micro tears that may be causing that excessive inflammation, leading us to call it plantar fasciitis and causing us that dreaded heel pain when we first step out of bed. So what you want to do is put a band just underneath your toe there, and you're going to be working on your big toe flexion. The band acts as the resistance, and you're going to push that big toe down without scrunching the toe. Hold it for a few seconds, come back up slow, and push down for a few seconds, come back up slow, push down for a few seconds, come back up slow. Some people, if their toe is really weak, they might scrunch the toe to point it down. Don't do that. Make sure the whole toe, you're pressing it down with that toe, and come back up. If this is too easy to do, feel free to use a band that is a little bit harder in resistance. If it's still easy, we have other exercises in store in other videos for you. For some people, it can be quite challenging. So if it's difficult to do, feel free to even start with no resistance and just do it against the ground and pushing that big toe down. Come back up, push that big toe down, come back up, even without the band, and just work against gravity in the beginning. So this one, I like to prescribe 3 sets of 10. The fourth exercise is a single leg balance with weight shifts. This exercise helps us to strengthen our foot intrinsic muscles, and I like this exercise because it is very functional in helping us improve our foot muscle strength and balance, and you also need very minimal equipment to do this. To do this exercise, you just want to be holding on to something. You can have a dumbbell, you can have a water bottle, you can have a milk jug, anything you'd like. So that's why this exercise is using minimal equipment. Single leg balance, that's all you're gonna do. Balance on one leg, make sure your foot is not scrunching your toes, and then you can come down into a slight hip hinge, and you're basically gonna pass this weight back and forth, back and forth. Again, you're gonna work on the 3 points of contact of your foot, and you're gonna pass the weight back and forth. As you can tell, my balance is not the best. 3 points of contact, not scrunching your toes, and you're just going to pass this around. Start with 30 seconds. You wanna do 3 to 4 sets of a 30-second hold. And I hope you learned a thing or two about plantar fasciitis today, and now you have the necessary tools to help you fix your heel pain permanently. If you enjoyed the video, I would appreciate it so much if you would hit the like button below, and if you want more content from me, subscribe to my channel for more future videos like this.